Overwhelm is when we hit a set of circumstances that is beyond what we think we can control, within our skills, within our confidence. It's a set of circumstances. So overwhelm is very relative, which means something that may completely overwhelm Karen may not overwhelm me, and vice versa. Does that make sense? So a person that's had 3 babies may not be overwhelmed with the third one, or 2 babies may not be overwhelmed with the third one, whereas a new parent may be overwhelmed with the first one, correct? So it is different for everybody. But this is my solution when it comes to being overwhelmed in property management. When you've got a set of circumstances that is you've come up against and you feel like running away from, or taking stress leave or whatever, or for whatever reason, there's only one way to deal with it. So if you cannot get around the circumstance, if you can't go under it, if you can't go over it, what have we got to do? We're just going to go right through it and punch right through it with every ounce of your character that you have to smash through. That is the only solution that has ever worked for me. That's the only way to deal with overwhelm. But I promise you, every time you push through being overwhelmed, get to the other side and slam through that, you are a much better person for it. Your character has just become more refined and shaped through the process and the experience. You've become a much better person for your family, with your life skills, and for your career. You need to get yourself to a place where you can control distractions, because you've got to take control. You've got to stop the distractions so you can focus on what is creating the overwhelm. You okay with that? But you've got to take control. You have to take control. You must put down everything in writing. Everything in writing before you. What are the ingredients of the overwhelm? Every piece of the puzzle. Now, who's done that before? Just written it down, what the issues are. Did you actually find that when you got it out of your brain and onto paper, something happened? That it didn't look as big as what it was? Do you know our mind does play tricks on us? And when we have this soup of all this stuff just swimming around our head, once we get and pull out every piece of the ingredient that's causing overwhelm and get it point by point by point by point on a piece of paper in front of you, life can change. And you can really get clarity. And in some cases, my stress is reduced by half, just by doing that. But you need to place it into the order of priority with your ingredients that's creating overwhelm, whatever the circumstance is. It could be a very difficult and complicated issue at a property. It could be a difficult landlord, difficult tenant involved, some very difficult circumstances. But you've got to shoot the loudest dog first. Once you've placed the issues into order of priority, what's the ugliest, loudest dog? And kill it first. And then, I'm not talking about inspections, alright? But then, what's the next one and the next one? And you just got to do that. And after 2 or 3, because it's really 2 or 3 of those circumstances, once you're over them, you're going to be through the clear. And you're going to feel a lot better for it. You're going to feel a sense of satisfaction. Alright, put in extra time just to tackle the difficult issues. Sometimes, guys, the extra hours is the only thing that's going to work. You have to do the extra hours to tackle the beast, and so you can then take control.